The grand final, Battlefield of Eternity, is kicking us off, everybody. A best of 7 series. So we have Chili Mountain coming from the winner bracket against Oxygen Esports, who were just able to win the loser bracket final against the Bang Bush. Now there's no map advantage here. The team that came in from the winner bracket, Chili Mountain, they get the map choice and they also get first pick on the first map. But it's been a long day. It's been a very long day, so I had to get some reinforcements to make sure that I still have the energy for all of this. So yeah, welcome.
What up? Hey, what was the name of the teams again? I think I heard something, but I don't want to repeat it in case it's a bad name. What was that?
What?
What was the team names again? I heard Bang something. Please repeat that before.
Bang Bush is already out. That's Laura's team. They went for the
Bang Bush?
Bang Bush, yeah. With the banging opening into every single game, and yeah. They have a banging bush meta. So yeah, they are already out. They're third place. We now have Chili Mountain against Oxygen Esports. AKA Team Wah against the Hardos. That's pretty much what we have here. Same teams, different name.
Okay, gotcha. Well, we're into it. We already have a Hogger and a Lucio band, followed up into a Maev and a Genji. Battlefield of Eternity! Yeah. A feud over the Immortals, and Sylvanas will be the first pickup.
The biggest question is always if Oxygen Esports picks Sergeant Hammer or not. They've been playing Hammer tons and tons of time. Nick is actually crazy. Like, he's been bringing so many weird heroes, or not weird heroes, but he's been bringing heroes back into the meta. He started playing Sergeant Hammer again. There she is. And most of the teams got so frustrated with all of this crap that they started to ban her out continuously. And this is probably the first tournament in weeks where we have teams letting Hammer through and just saying, okay, we can deal with her, we can deal with this. And the next pick that he then made is he all of a sudden started to pick Tyrael as a third melee, not as the main tank, but plays it with Judgment and more of an attack-based style, and is just playing him as a full-on assassin and bruiser. It's beautiful. So it's shining crazy how the drafts are shaping up around all of this.
I mean, alright, it's exciting. You have Blaze with all that protection, that bunker drop, easy peasy there for Sergeant Hammer if she has to go away. We do see some aggression coming in from Team Moi. Make sure to correct me, right? Left side is Team Moi.
Yeah, Chili Mountain.
Murden and Urel getting picked up here. Okay. Are we calling them Moi or Chili Mountain? I want to make sure. Or Chili Moi? Chili Mountain? Okay, cool.
Chili Moi.
So they do have, like, hard engage. Like, if they want to get on Hammer, they can get there. So I like their draft and their answer for this. It seems like they knew that the Hammer would be coming based off what you're saying.
Yeah, they definitely. I mean, we've seen now Sylvanas with a lot of mind control also to deal with that a bit. Bang Bush was one of the first teams that let Hammer through all the time, and they actually dealt with her pretty well. I mean, Oxygen Esports still won the series, but they had a tough time there. And obviously, this is also now a rematch of the winner bracket semifinal between the two teams. And back then, Oxygen Esports got absolutely slaughtered. So that happened just 2 days ago, and they want revenge now. And he goes for his Karazim again. So we have this double support, and this is exactly what I talked about earlier. So now Tyrael gets banned out, which he plays a lot, and now instead of Tyrael, they're going into Karazim, which is another combo that he played at the Masters Clash Finals in Paris. So he's going for that super aggressive Karazim style again, where he's trying to get extra damage in, and of course it also adds some sustain to them. So yeah, they haven't busted this out in this tournament yet, so I'm actually pretty happy that we're seeing it here.
Oh, I actually gotta love the Ana pick too. Just straight up moving into a position where, like, you have a support that's not going to be dived upon unless the fight really goes wrong. So you can kind of support from afar, go into your sniper mode, bring in those heals, those AoE heals, and just straight up just go for that hammer. What an interesting draft. And it's also perfect for Battlefield of Eternity. You get tons of fights that are occurring around those Immortals. It's probably one of the most fight-heavy maps in the entire map pool. And then we have a final up into a Garrosh, which is great for control as well. I love the draft here for our red team.
I'm actually surprised that we have Hanzo neither picked or banned, but yeah, Garrosh comes in for Bad Benny, and guys, I mean, that sets us up for map number 1, the grand final at the X Cup, summer playoffs, everybody. Oxygen Esports, the rematch against Chili Mountain. Let's go. Game number 1, Battlefield of Eternity. The best of 7 starts up with Dino going straight for Cassia, locking in a Thunderstroke to get some stacks together here. We get Banana H on Ana, Dequaza on Urel here on the left side of the map, Masquerade on Mirrodin, and Ultralisk on Sylvanas.
Do I get the next one? Yeah?
Yep.
Yes, on the red team to the far right, we have Hans on Karazim, Open on Blaze, Bad Biddy from Horse Camp, but playing Garrosh. We have Yasu on Anduin, and finally, a man that's been around our hearts for years and an esport legend, Hasselabs playing Sergeant Hammer.
Yeah, and also changing things up with the ambush as the level 1 talent. That's the first time in this tournament that we actually have seen this. Immediate pause here also by Banana, so I'm not quite sure who's inting on their end right now. But yeah, I hope that it's not actually a drop. The last thing that we need here is some serious problems in the grand final. And I guess we actually have a disconnect. Urel is out. So I guess we're going to have a quick pause to see that we're going to get the players back as soon as possible. And we're back already. The Quasar apparently dropping. Yeah, Tim already going for the goat facts here. So apparently someone did his homework.
I'm here with the homework.
You like this meme? Preparing for the Heroes of the Storm characters? Nah, prepping some gold facts? Hell yeah. Oh, Masquerade immediately getting jumped here and Murden is down. Well, that's a good start for them.
That was a great start. They put 3 in the middle and they just waited for someone to show their face and they went for an instant pelt, got the pickup. Hostulabs goes straight to the bottom lane as well. He's looking for Dino, trying to knock him into a wall, but Dino paying attention, able to walk away. But Red Team starts off with a beautiful pick.
Chili Mountain had a lot of time to watch all of the games here today, and for Oxygen Esports, the journey today started in the losers bracket, where they got a 3-0 victory over the Cats and then moved on to the loser bracket final against Bang Bush. And that series ended with a 3-1 in their favor, but it was pretty intense, especially the first 2 maps were absolutely mind-blowing. So for them it's been a long day already, whereas Chili Mountain is pretty fresh. Might of course be a bit of a problem, as you know, with warm-up time, but yeah, at least for the time being, Oxygen with a slight advantage thanks to that kill. They're also getting the cap at the top. On the other hand, you have Chili Mountain claiming the one at the bot lane, so pretty much just going through the motions here in the early stages.
I do like that Oxygen Esports came out with that aggressive play. We had the first pick at the very top, and then immediately on the minimap, we saw Sylvanas as well, trying to get picked off by Bad Benny. Oxygen Esports is here to play, and automatically you can see on the map, we have the blue team playing a little bit safer now all of a sudden, just because they want to ensure they don't lose any more picks, which opens up more picks. Look at the bottom here, as Bad Benny's coming in, he's looking for a possible grab on someone.
Ultralisk is in real trouble. Yeah, he has no chance. Ultralisk is down. Ultralisk is dead, and that's the second kill right off the bat for Oxygen Esports. Nice. I gotta say, Chili Mountain, generally, of course, the team that you normally find in the finals, and they're usually insanely oppressive in the way that they are playing, just really taking every opportunity they can get to get ahead. But against the Bang Bush in the winner bracket final, they had a couple of games where it really felt like they are completely inting. So it doesn't really happen a lot, but they felt off in 1 or 2 games. So I'm not sure if they recovered from that and were able to properly reset. It's definitely something to check out here. I mean, 2 kills are not really too crazy just yet, but I'm definitely interested to see how this series is going to go from that perspective.
Sure, we're used to Chili Mountain setting the tempo in games, so with Oxygen Esports switching it up and being the one to set the tempo, it's more of a kind of an interesting look at seeing how someone might have, or some team might have, a bad day, and whether or not the opposing team is able to be good enough to break them and take that advantage from them and grab a win. And so far, Oxygen's been doing that. Let's move straight into the Immortal phase here, as we already have the early camp picked up by Oxygen, and they're already doing damage to their Immortal.
Yeah. With the Immortal already being attacked, I mean, Hazo is a good position. He needs his level 7 to get the mobility, so he currently doesn't have that. But they're chasing in the back already, and Dino is in real trouble, gets instantly focused, but they're turning it as Masquerade is jumping in deep, looking for another storm, but doesn't have the cooldown ready, but the body blocks are at least there. But I don't really... Well, Benny might fall here. The pull from Yasuo saves the day. But that turned quickly on them.
Yeah, he's very bruised. Also just wasn't in a spot to do damage to anyone from Chili Mountain, so you just had the front line getting beat up for absolutely nothing. So just some poor trades overall. And now you see Oxygen trying to attempt to rectify that. And they're going to go into the second phase. It looks like maybe down the Immortal. Hang on, Bad Benny set it up. Yeah. We do have some damage coming in from Karazim. Oh, he gets knocked into the wall. Nice control there. And we're in the halftime phase.
Oxygen Esports a little bit ahead right now and getting also the win on the halftime show. But Chili Mountain still looking for their team fight and of course for the kill. Great position for Azu now as well. I mean, that is about as good as it gets. Fully protected here as long as they're making sure they can't get flanked. But now the focus straight up on Nick with a second support. And Hazo has to move back out too, but they do so much damage on the Immortal now.
Hostulabs tucked in that corner there, being nice and cozy, watching some anime and doing some damage to the Immortal. It is down to about a fifth of the health bar. Bad Benny's trying to step up and slow down the damage coming in from Chili Mountain. Finally, Hostulabs is able to finish that off, and that's going to be a pickup on the Immortal for Team Oxygen. Now, do they usually 5-man push with this Immortal, or do you think they go for the opposite side?
I mean, with Hammer, it depends honestly a bit. Normally, we're seeing the push with the Immortal, but if you're having Hammer or maybe even Sylvanas, and we've seen a lot of split pushing happening recently. So right now, everybody moves straight up to the top with the exception of the solo laners. So we're going to get that attack for that fort. But I really like the way they're playing this early game out. And again, Nick going for that kerosene that he showcased multiple times at the MC finals in Paris, and they won the event. So they took out Chili Mountain in the grand final, and they're currently trying to use a similar style that they had in that series. And it feels like Chili Mountain is struggling a bit, at least in the early game before we have the level 10 abilities.
Man, you keep pointing out Nick on top of that Kerosene. It's such an inspired pick for this map. But hang on here. Dekwaza comes in, gets a 3-man knockback. Bad Benny trying to hold that front line. He's getting low and bruised up. Gonna sacrifice himself for the team so they can skedaddle out of there, and they will do so. Finally, a pickup here for Chili Mountain, and they're gonna take this time to run forward and take down these turrets.
I love how everybody was just trying to half back, and then all of a sudden Chili Mountain just like drops the hammer here, comes in with Sylvanas, destroys the entire wall, and everybody's like, we might have to go for the fountain cooldown after all. Don't have enough time to move back here.
Did you just like a goat because your rel came in? Did you do that on purpose or was that accidental?
That wasn't the idea behind it.
That's how goats sound, man. They bleat all day, every day.
That is not what I went for.
You should say that. That's what you did go for. Just own it, man. Here we go. We do have Ultralisk coming down here on the bottom right. Han steps up. That's Nick trying to get some damage on top of him. But look at this. Open, potentially coming in for a flank. Finds a Murden, finds a double stun. There goes a knockup from Bad Benny. Yasuo actually steps up to provide some heals at the same time. And Dino looking like he might be in trouble, but look at this damage coming in from Ultralisk.
Yeah, they're absolutely murdering it here, but I love how they're just trying to stack the CC every single time. Benny literally throwing allies forward to try and get that thing. By the way, if you check out Benny, did you see his mount? It's so rare and unique. I really love it.
Oh my god. Is that the epic arcane lizard?
It's
only given to the most
rare
inspired and focused players and Heroes of the Storm. A mount that was created 4 years ago and given to every player that still plays this game. Holy crap, Bad Benny. I am so proud of you rocking that thing.
I think that's it. And god, I'm so jealous. It's so rare. It's so unique. So much wow. They got level 10. I mean, honestly, they're crushing it. Chili Mountain, like, they are, with level 10, just murdering it. They're behind in kills, but they get the early heroic ability. And there's, of course, no way for Team Oxygen to do anything about it, so they have to fall back. And even on the Immortal, they will have to give up the halftime show. So
I'm gonna see my favorite word here. Kudos to Chili Mountain, as they have answered back in spades in the last couple of minutes. Part of it getting that pick in the top lane and then following it up with a nice mercenary push. They will earn themselves a beautiful lead on this Immortal phase. Now here's the good news for Auction Esports. They just hit level 10, and this is where they can really set the foundation for their team comp.
Also, Hazu has started to adjust the build again, so we have seen the regenerative biosteel on level 4 a lot ever since Nick brought Hammer back, but in this case it's still siege tactics, so they're looking over to what we're seeing from Chili Mountain, and he just decided he wants to play it a bit safer here. I love that they're adjusting the Hammer build at least so much around all of this, but look at Muradin! They hit the stun, Benny trying to go in for the kill and help them out here. Even Nick diving, they have to drop the bunker, and they still weren't able to get the kill despite the fact that it was a 5 versus 4 with Sylvanas pushing the top out.
Nick trying to get out. He's like, please let me jump to you. He jumps just in time, gets a heal at the last second, and that's going to be a Murden going in for the kill. Masquerade low on HP. Han's trying to escape. Same time, Dekwaza getting knocked around by the Immortal. This is a bloodbath, Khaldor.
It absolutely is, and they're still trying to go for Nick here. Bathrobe Boy also moving in, and the first one to fall is Garrosh. Stormbolt still connects. Nick is fine. Garrosh the only victim in that last encounter, but doesn't change the fact that it's full Immortal control now for the Chili's.
Yeah, Chili Mountain really bringing it together. We were talking about earlier, maybe they were stumbling a bit, but it seems they have found their footing. This Immortal will be pushing in the top lane, and that should be a fort if properly pushed. It could be more, as the Sylvanas factor is a deadly factor if played correctly.
Also, Chili Mountain is at this point sitting with 25,000 damage on Cassia at a real good damage dealer. He has 40 stacks already on the level 1. And as you already pointed out, if you have Sylvanas, you can really push this in deep. And they are taking the fort down before the Immortal even arrives. So yeah, this is brutal.
Yeah, it sure is. Sylvanas is a dingleberry, both lore-wise and in this game. Stormbolt comes out, will be a hit on top of Garrosh. There will be a jump in once again, gets thrown across the field. Yorel taking the damage right away too, and oh my golly gee, she did not have heroic, and she will fall instantly, jumping around like Mario out here.
And they're definitely going in deep for a second kill now too. And Dino, no chance, gets absolutely wrecked. It's actually a little bit disappointing for them. After they took the fort out without the Immortal, I really thought, alright, we're going to talk about a keep probably getting at least some, at least 50% HP, maybe even destroyed. But it barely took a scratch through all of this because they got the kills this quickly.
I want everyone that watched that to take note on how you handle a Sylvanas composition. Usually you try to break down that front line in some way or some form, make them pull away from their Sylvanas. That way she becomes a bit exposed. They did that with taking out Urel, and then immediately you go behind the Immortal and stop her from getting on the buildings, and that's how you stop her from getting value. Beautifully done there by Oxygen Esports, and wonderful control and synergy being displayed.
The cams are now being exchanged, so we have each team at least grabbing one. Obviously, for Oxygen Esports, the main goal is to get to level 13, so that they can take the fights again. Masquerades, yeah, Stormbolt greeting for Blaze, followed up by the Sleep Dart, but they also got to be careful because, as we pointed out earlier, there's just tons of mobility for Oxygen Esports in these situations. And they are going again for a quick delete on Sylvanas. Goodbye, girl. Nice ult from Karazim.
Bruh, is there an ultimate as satisfying as 7-sided strike? You just punch the living hell out of your opponent and they either die or they lose their entire health bar. It feels so good.
Nick is just crazy with this stuff. Like, again, he's playing the aggressive Tyrael lately. He's playing the second support carry. It's not really a second support. I mean, of course, it adds some sustain to your team too. But the way that he plays it, he is just always going for those deep dives into the enemy lines, trying to get the kills. 17,000 damage doesn't really sound like a lot, but if you have those 7-sideds that he gets there, it's just more than enough. And that kill was just perfect. Death timers are low, so Sylvanas is already back. Is going to be back in time for the Immortal with plenty of time to spare. But they have 5 kills to 2. And with that kill count, if they can maintain that pace towards the late game when the death timers increase, it's going to give them a lot of control over the map.
Ocelot steps up. They're trying to control this Immortal here on the bottom phase, trying to see where exactly Sylvanas might be. Dequaz already propped and ready to jump into the fight here. Another stun comes in on top of Garrosh. That's 3 stuns in a row. My man was sitting still for 6 seconds. My golly gee.
Yeah, Sylvanas still trying to fight it out at the top. Nick also playing it out there. Immediately siege tactics used by Sergeant Hammer. Everything focusing on Azu right now as he's making his way back out of the fight. And we got the nano boost, of course, on Dino, who's just desperately trying to get some damage connected. That doesn't work out. And the Valkyrie doesn't hit either, as we see Karazim unleashing his ult once more.
Nick needs to change his name to Neo, because this man is dodging Valkyries. Open, steps up, goes in for another attack. And remember, he still has a bunker, so he can go as hard as he wants here, as he can drop in that bunker at any point. There it is! Boom! Here comes the fire. That's going to be 2 pickoffs, potentially a 3rd if they can get on top of Ultralisk. Looks like they won't be able to do so, as Hostile Up turns around, and all the focus goes on top of the Immortal. Now, will Dino and Dequaz be able to get some damage in here? On the bottom side, it looks like it, but it just is not enough to match.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, initially they started with 2 forts being lost very quickly to Oxygen Esports, but they're really fighting back here, and they're taking these fights. They take down Cassia again and they turn it and also drop Urel here within half a second. They're doing fantastic, and this is exactly what we talked about earlier. With them winning the team fights in the early game, it doesn't help them this much to get a kill every now and then because the death timers are so low, but now that they're increasing, they're getting more and more control over the map.
My only worry here is that we are low on mana for Hasuabs and Karazim in particular here for Nick. It's more of an issue for Karazim, but if they're able to burn down the Immortal, it won't matter too much, and it looks like they can do so. As you mentioned, the death timer is a little too long. Chili Mountain's able to grab the Mercenary Camp as a consolation prize instead.
Now, there's, of course, 2 points of concern here. I mean, first of all, great for the red team that they have level 16 already. They got the Immortal. With 16, we also got the Way of 100 Fists for Nick, so his damage output is going to be improved even further. In addition to that, the Glyph of Faith for the double pull. We got the Giant Killer. I mean, it's about as good as it gets for level 16 talents. But at the same time, they have to go through 2 forts still. So that's definitely the bonus point for Chili Mountain, that there's so much infrastructure still on the map for them.
All right, it is time to beat on some buildings. The first fort potentially falling here for Oxygen Esports, given that experience, huh? Nick just goes and he does not care. Me fist, me punch, me smork, and he does it over and over and over again. He goes straight in once again for that Cassia, which is funny because she has block while she's moving, so it's not that much damage, but the more important thing is keeping damage off the Immortal, and they do just that. Second wall for the keep begins to fall, hoping to grab birth turrets, maybe maybe a little damage on this key.
Yeah, I mean, the beautiful thing if you're Nick and you're diving in deep is, of course, that even if you're getting caught, you have Yasuo with Anduin on your team, so his pull-out game is fantastic, and there's just absolutely no way that you're going to die here if he pays attention.
Time to skedaddle. Red team starts running away. We do have Chili Mountain looking for a chase. Dayquaza might be able to get them. Yrel a little bit fast compared to most with her being able to jump on top of that mount. It is a trap. Hasu sitting in the corner, gets some attacks, and Khaldor, we have a fight.
Yeah, blind again. Karazim, 7-sided strike possible. Already the arrow from Sylvanas being used here as they had to bunker up big time. And that could be a kill against Skyrosh, and he goes down. But he's not the only one that's going to fall here. This is going to turn into a bloodbath quickly. Dayquaza is also low. Masquerade pausing. They seem to have some problems. And once again, it's actually apparently Yrel that it keeps dropping over here. So huge problems on the side of Dayquaza, if I interpret that correctly.
Well, good sport here coming in from the red team, saying they're ready to go whenever they are as well. Always rough to have that kind of disconnect in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried here.
Looking down. Yeah, it's scary.
It's the second time that it happened for them. He didn't have any problems earlier today, and honestly, it's usually Ultralisk that has the big, or had in the past, the big issues with his connection. They fixed that a while ago, and ever since then it has been pretty stable. But that Dayquaza is having now this many issues in game number 1 is definitely a bit of a concern.
Certainly is. Dino trying to keep up the pressure here now. In 10 seconds, we will have Bad Benny back. The front line is missing for Auction Esports. So here, you try to protect, but do your best not to get picked off. Ultralisk stepping up, finds Nick. Nick comes in, provides punches. There's some blinds as well. Nick taking his time here. Open finally goes in and gets 2 with the jet propulsion, and Bad Benny is back, and he is moving forward.
I honestly don't really know if I like Valkyrie. First of all, it's so easy to be dodged properly if you pay attention and if you anticipate it coming, but also the amount of mobility that we're having on the side of Oxygen Esports is kind of nuts. You have Anduin able to pull someone out. If Karazim gets caught, he can dash out, you can bunker up too. If they go for Sergeant Hammer and they somehow connect with Hazu, then yeah, it would work, but he also has siege tactics, he can try to speed away from it. We'll see if at some point they're going to get a perfect Valkyrie off, but at least thus far that ult has done very, very little for them.
Yeah, it's very hard to run. The good news is you do have a 10-second window where if you use a Valkyrie, you have 10 seconds before the Leap of Faith comes back for Anduin, but you're right, there's so many ways to layer out that CC. I don't hate it, but it comes down to really counting down the cooldowns of your opponent and trying to be synergistic, which is very difficult against this comp.
Yeah, camp at the top lane, that could be the downfall of the second fort on the side of Chili Mountain. Nick just keeps punching. I mean, can't stop, won't stop. He says all in their face. I mean, look at him dancing around the entire time and going full Ip Man on us here. One hit after another. And boy, they really after this game have to figure out what's going on with Yrel here, because Dayquaza is having some real trouble. I'm pretty sure they're going to see at least a restart from him.
Okay, well, they're going to talk about it here. Yeah, I just imagine Nick waking up every single morning and doing his best to do his own Rocky impression. He's just hitting speed bags all morning, and he's like, I'm going to do this in game today, 3 hours from now. I'm going to punch everyone in my way. All right, looks like our players are ready to go. 3, 2, 1, into the match. We begin.
Yeah, it seems like Nick is probably one of the players that influenced the meta the most over the last couple of months and years, because he's always getting bored with some stuff and then he tests out new things and brings them back in. 7-sided strike again. This time the old Yrel is ready in time. They're still trying to go for Nick, and he needs to be pulled out by Yasuo, so they're able to save him. But Sylvanas with the Wailing Arrow here, as they're still trying to follow up on it.
There was a lot of cooldowns there. Bad Benny, though, stuck on the Immortal, and he gets knocked around like a ping pong ball. Oh my god, the Leap of Faith into a combo. He's trying to stay alive, but sadly, that is actually going to be a huge L for Auction Esports, but happily for Chili Mountain as they look for another. Masquerade steps in to make sure no one else gets picked up, and this will be an open window for the Immortal to get focused.
Yeah, despite all the problems that they're currently having, they're still able to do incredibly well here. We have 5 kills to 9 at this point, and of course that double kill was just absolutely perfect. I mean, as you said, initially it started with a great save from Anduin, but it very quickly led to a double kill against Anduin and Garrosh, and now with 2 heroes down, they're still trying to get kills, and they're able to move in, nearly dropping Masquerade, who just barely is able to get the Avatar through. Crazy play by Nick once more, but it's unsuccessful. They are taking the Immortal down pretty heavily on the other hand.
Still, even every bit of damage helps out a lot here in the defense that will eventually be coming here for Auction Esports, and that is imperative against a Sylvanas. So I like the attempt there in a 3v5 to answer back as quickly as you can and as closely as possible. Nick was in danger for a bit, but with Sergeant Hammer positioned over the wall, he was able to dash in, and all is well in the hood.
Yeah, top sign gets pushed out now, of course, with the Immortal. I mean, it's a small shield, but if they can use Sylvanas here again, they might be able to finally take one of these keeps down. And they are doing such a stellar job here. It's also a level 20 talent that I'm a little bit concerned about, because the timing on it is perfect for them.
Immortal, low on shields. Bad Benny steps up. Blaze now joining. Now 20 just slightly missing out here for Oxygen Esports. We shouldn't see a major fight from them. However, on the other side, Chili Mountain wants to get their engagement, especially after they drop down this keep.
I mean, they could go for the core. They could definitely try. If they get a kill here, then this is lights out. So they are already pushing it. And there's no 20 available for Oxygen Esports for a long time. Once again, the hit is coming. Yasuo with a save. This time we have the Valkyrie finally connecting, but Hazu's able to move out. But Benny on the other hand is in real trouble, and he dies.
Immortal continues to get his focus down, but the core is starting to fall. 72%, 70%. Nick steps up, tries to get some damage in, but Chili Mountain looks like they may want to go for a win here. Ultra is kiting away from Nick as he gets his damage in. Haas will have the attempt to hold down the front lines as well. 20 finally connects. It's a 4v5. Can they do this?
I mean, they're trying. They're down to 52% on the core. Even if they save this, though, it's going to be rough to play it out. But they're, of course, doing their best here. Dino, again, a bit low. 94 stacks by now on Cassia. But it's another kill against the red team. They're losing Blaze. The entire front line is now gone. Of course, Nick is still trying to punch them out here, but another Stormbolt connects. So they have to move back here. The shield is regenerating on the other hand, but more catapults and minions are now moving in.
Bro, this is so freaking intense. Nick's able to walk away. Oh, can he? The Stormbolt comes in. A heal comes in from Yasuo at the last second. Anduin is doing work here. 38%. This core continues to fall. There goes the big bubble of happiness from Yrel. And it looks like this just might be it, Khaldor. In game number 1, Chili Mountain takes the victory over Oxygen Esports.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Gun of Terror, our second map, which I assume means that we have first pick, first ban for Oxygen Esports. Every single time that Garden of Terror is picked lately, there seems to be one culprit, and that is Chili Mountain, who have taken the lead in this series with a victory in Battlefield of Eternity and a couple of issues on the side of Dequaza that have hopefully been fixed by now. But yeah, here we are, God of Terror. Let's go.
Lay it on me, Dowdy Khaldor. Why do we have Maiev being banned every single game? Is she OP? Do we have a good player on the opposing team? What's up with this?
We got Ultralisk on the other team. That's pretty much the point. So you will always see Lucio banned against Oxygen Esports because nobody in their right mind is going to give Lucio over to Yasuo. Then you always have a little bit of a toss-up where you're like, do you ban Sergeant Hammer against them, or what else are you going to get rid of here? But Lucio is pretty much like an absolute stable ban against Oxygen Esports. And then on the other side, Maiev is also one of the usual suspects that you're trying to get rid of when you see Ultralisk playing. Interestingly enough, when you now play on Tomb of Spider Queen, you might see that later, teams have started to ban out Medivh against Nick, because Nick is now also playing Medivh. And at first when I saw that, I was like, what kind of bullshit is that? Like, this is not the kind of hero, you know, that Nick is usually playing. It's not like
that's
agile
a
enough.
character, right?
Dude, like, he murders that character. It's ridiculous. The portal play that he makes with them is out of this world, and he usually completes his baseline within the first 5 minutes. It's bonkers.
Wow. All right. Well, I would like to see that at some point. Sergeant Hammer and Genji grad for Chili Mountain, so they take away the hammer.
Yeah, that's a
from
dangerous thing.
Esports.
You have Germans on each side, and the Germans, they are very good with the Panzer. So when they take the hammer, then oof, it's problematic.
Oof. That is oof. Because, like, I can't even argue against that. I'm like, yeah, they probably are really good at taking. Jesus. Meriden picked up, and then a Blaze follow-up. Strong front line. Very melee heavy, though. Is there a world where our boy Kel'Thas could be played?
Nah, not really. We
Is
had
he
him
a dead
in
hero now?
Let me actually think. We saw him lately once or twice, but I can't remember if it was in the X-Cup qualifier or if it was during the Masters Clash. But currently, it's always like insanely melee heavy. We have so many compositions that are really played with like 3 melee characters, sometimes even double tank plus 1 bruiser. And Jojo, for example, gets now also occasionally played as a side laner, which is a role that fits her quite well because she has the wave clear, she has the survivability that you need. And if it's, let's say, a 2-lane map, for example, you can then always move her into the team fights and all of a sudden have a double tank staring down your opponent. So it's pretty interesting, but a lot of triple front lines are being played right now, and very hit point heavy ones too.
Uther banned out. Did you mention the Uther ban in your explanation there?
Now, Uther, at this point, I'm actually a little bit curious why exactly get rid of that. We have not that many Uther bans recently, honestly. Leona also taken out. I mean, it's Garden of Terror, so normally Hogger is even banned here because he's so good at the wave clear and, well, camp clear more so. Dehaka, obviously, for the global. So a lot of those characters really just like banned because it's such a huge map. You don't want anybody to speed things up with Lucio. You want to get rid of Dehaka. Hogger normally gets banned because it's too good on the camps. It leaves you with Falstad, but I'm not sure if they're going to take him here at some point.
That explains it. So Uther you usually ban out if you want to go some type of burst or you want to have some kind of kill mechanic that is easily stoppable with the Divine Shield. And with Malthael potentially going for last rites, if you wanted to, would be able to go for a kill and stack it up really quickly, especially against a melee frontline heavy character, as long as you have a support that can keep him alive and prevent him from getting CC'd. So kind of interesting to see what Banana's going to pick up here. But now that Malthael makes sense as to why we have an Uther ban.
I mean, if you go for Anduin here, you could go for a light bomb play with Genji, which is always an option. They got Kane on the other side together with Taika, so he's really trying to shred Diablo now. Ana, maybe. I mean, the nano boosted Malthael can be a real problem if you play it properly, but I don't really see it here,
I think
especially.
it's too much PC for Ana, right?
Yeah,
I think the Anduin's perfect.
Exactly, she would be pretty much jumped there, so I don't really.
And
think so.
wait.
Sorry?
The manliest character in all of HOTS. Give me Anduin right now. Lock it in.
The manliest character? I mean, it's definitely Karazim. His hairstyle alone is already sealing that deal. So, Anduin is just a massive beta. I don't know what you want from me. The guy literally has a Robin skin. He doesn't have a Batman skin, it's a Robin skin.
Robin's awesome. I used to be called Robin in my first gamer tag.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
It was Robin, Ares, and then Trickslayer.
Okay. God of Terror, guys. Map number 2. Let's go. Game number 2. Chili Mountain is in the lead. We have Oxygen Esports now coming straight into the game in the attempt, of course, to turn things around a little bit. Still a best of 7, so a lot of maps to go here. Dequaz on the left side with Malthael, Ultralisk on Sergeant Hammer. We got Dino on Genji, Banana Age on Karazim, Masquerade on Diablo for Chili Mountain.
On the right side in the red, Hasuav's playing Tychus, Nick on Hogger, Open on Blaze, Bad Benny playing Muradin, and Deckard Kane will be played by Yasuo.
Okay, ooh, we actually get an auto attack style here for Hazobs. Look at that, press the advantage on level 1. We actually don't get that a lot from them. Limu is playing that quite a bit, and they haven't qualified for the top 8 here. But we don't get too many Tigers players that go into that style right now. But I really like it. It's always super fun when you can stack properly. Most of them start to combo it off with the Combat Tactician on level 7 and then also in the Rhythm on level 4. We might, given that there's Diablo, just simply see them go into the bigger they are anyways, but this is definitely a nice touch to it and an adjustment made because of the opponent's team composition.
Yeah, especially against like the Malthael too, with everything so melee heavy, you just want to make sure that you're just a bit safe. Oop, Masquerade steps up, goes for a combo on Hasu, he kites away, the Triangle of Death comes in from Yasuo, as he's going to continue to tell some stories. Bad Benny trying to stay alive, able to skedaddle on out of there, while Nick himself gets a stun against the wall, and it seemed like a bit of a brawl that leaves Diablo bruised, but not dead.
Yeah, nobody dying, but both of the tanks have taken a bit of a beating in that last encounter. So Ultralisk had a pretty good position there too, which made it very, very hard to deal with him. But nice adjustments. I mean, I honestly like this. Obviously, with the 1 minute mark passing and the camps spawning, both of the teams are immediately making moves for the camps. And that has always been the thing on Garden of Terror. The amount of pressure you can get just through camp control alone is incredible. That's also where Dequaza with Malthael can definitely assist them.
Are they gonna invade this? No way. They're thinking about it. They're rotating.
Yeah.
Q open goes in, locks it down. This is what he does well. Malfield trying to bring in the attacks. This is where it gets really scary, though, if these sustained fights happen. But as they're able to grab it, they walk away. The rotation's just faster.
Yeah,
Faster rotation option.
The thing is also that the teams, especially today, have been so aggressive. It's actually a shame that you weren't here for one of the games of Bang Bush. They were crazy today. I have no idea what these guys were having for breakfast, but from first game to last game that they played, and I think they played in total 9 maps, they had incredible aggression, like the entire time. They took pretty much every fight they were able to take, and it was such a joy to watch them. It was mind-blowing. So here, we still see some of that aggression, but it's been going on for the entire day now. Oh, Master Assassin with Press the Advantage. Now that's a new one. Master Assassin gets played, and the Koreans have actually started that trend in one of the Fish Cups that they played last year. It's all about the passive for Odin. But I have not seen that combo off yet if you're going for Press the Advantage on level 1. So this is definitely a bit of a new combo that Hazops is going for. I'm wondering if he's still going for the Combat Tactician on level 7, or if he's just going into some different, completely different mix here.
Don't worry, Khaldor. This is a patented Trixler build. If you are able to finish these 15 stacks, you delete Diablo so fast that you could call him
the Flash. They have no chance. They are lost.
They're the lost over.
GG, go next. They went for the Trixler build.
Yeah, man. Next week they get Lava Wave. This shit's over, bro. I'm telling you, man. I was changing the meta 3 years ago. No one knows. They were just surprised when they lost.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the interrupts are coming. First seed is up. Masquerade. They're actually trying to delay this, but level 7 is now ready. That's gonna solve some questions here. Yep, Masquerade gets attacked. Come on, Hazu. Go for it. Yeah, we get the Relentless Soldier. So definitely changing things up a little bit. I like it. New style.
He's just going for Tank Boy. He just knows that if he stays alive, they have a chance of winning team fights. And then, of course, you follow this up with Odin at level 10. And then if you get into too much trouble, your CC coming your way, you just use that 2-second timer to use that unstoppable. Tychus is actually like a wonderful character to play into certain compositions. Everyone that plays ranged assassins should know how to play Tychus. Period. If not, you're a potato lord and no one likes you.
Tychus is... Some teams really have a bit of a hard-on for Tychus. They pick him pretty much every single game, but most of them...
have you seen that Speedo skin, Khaldor? Have you seen the Speedo skin? He has a cigar, but he's got a cigar, if you know what I'm saying.
The thing is that he's obviously still a power pick on Infernal Shrines because, yeah, Odin is just so good. And he, the level 4 alone is just all about Odin. But they're going for a bit of an attack here in the middle of the map now as well, trying to maybe take that wall down. Seed number 2 is now spawning, and things are heating up a bit.
Yeah, they certainly are. We do have Malfield trying to harass Blaze in the top lane, but nothing really coming from that. It's mostly this brawl here in the middle of the map here. The seed is now available in the top left. Now, typically, based on the map layout, you'll see the blue team take this one, as it's much easier to defend. But with a tank getting burned down here in the middle lane, oh my golly gee! We might see Auction Esports step up and try to take this away, or at least push to level 10.
Yeah, Diablo got a little bit crushed here. Didn't have too many souls. He has 38 still left here. But they are still not making a play for it, at least not now. We might see a few interrupts, but they're instead just focusing down to the bottom of the map. But Ultralisk with Sergeant Hammer is now sitting tight. Genji still harassing the old man here. Definitely not cool. No respect for the elderly at all. But Dibbles is already back to business.
I mean, they're ruining our economy. It makes sense. Just like I can get rid of all the old people. Let's just be honest with each other. Although, it is kind of scary because we're getting up there. We're about to be grandpa soon, Khaldor. Isn't that a weird thought?
Maybe. I'm not grandpa. What?
You're an old man. You're an esport grandpa.
Okay, I'll confess to the old man and to the green esports grandpa, but isn't there like something you're only as old as you feel?
That's true. That is a good point.
And given that I'm still 13, so yeah.
Some days I feel 50, some days I feel 12. It just depends on what's going on.
If you were drinking the day before and can't handle the hangover any longer.
Oh yeah, God, those are the worst. They are the worst, man. One beer and I'm like, I'm gonna have a headache for 5 hours. Mercenary Camp grab in the top right corner, and we're gonna have our second seed for both teams in the bottom lane, but Bad Benny's trying to hold it down here.
Yeah, Benny jumping in, last rites, and sayonara. He's dead, but so is Malthael. The aspect of dead doing a little bit of dying as they're blocking Masquerade again, and Diablo is not going to make it either.
Wow, just a massive destruction going on here. Bow tank's falling down. Now Diablo will be back in 20 seconds. Malthael in 8. Overall, though, Auction Esports able to take the advantage as they grab a 4v3 on the opposing team. Sergeant Hammer in the bottom lane, scooting up to the
I love it. He's just like...
Don't worry, guys, I got the bottom lane. I got 2 auto attacks. I'm out.
Buy me 5 minutes.
Jesus Christ. Seed will be going over to Auction Esports as we build toward that level 13.
2 seeds to 1, so the advantage goes to Oxygen Esports currently. Top side, Quasar, still making sure that that fort does not fall. But yeah, I kind of like it. So we have a big map and obviously a slight advantage for Oxygen Esports. 3 kills to 1, they have a level advantage. And they have now the seed lead 2, which could lead to the first garden terrors for them. You need to tell that story again.
The plant horrors is what they were originally called. You gotta make sure you enunciate the or. Diablo goes in, goes for a combo, lands right on top of Nick here. Nick able to roll away like a Tasmanian devil. There will be a Stormbolt as well, and Quasar feeling nice and healthy. Now, Sergeant Hammer is working on these camps on the far left, trying to get some pressure to answer back against what Auction Esports is doing in the mid lane. But meanwhile, Murden goes in. Bad Biddy wants to find a kill.
Yeah, Diablo dead again. Diablo Immortal my ass. That guy's doing a lot of dying right now. Second time now, they're coming in again, and Quasar in the last rites. But he survives. He didn't get the kill here. They get him eventually, but he does not get the stack. So that's kind of unfortunate. Malthael at least made it out. Good for him. But yeah, level 13 talent advantage is obviously helping with this one too.
This is where that attack speed picked up a level 4 though for Tychus is really strong. Whenever you move straight into Odin, you also get that additional attack speed, which allows for you to shell down some front lines. And Hasu was able to do a lot of damage there on top of what he was doing to Diablo.
Yeah, by the way, just bringing this back here real quickly. So Tim told the story earlier. As the Garden of Terror was introduced, the Garden Terrors were called Plant Horrors. And if you say that 5 times real quickly, then it sounds a little bit weird to the uneducated ear. So they had to change that after the first cast, because everybody was just talking about the plant horse. And, and together with the seeds, that made a very uncomfortable commentary.
You gotta turn it in your seed to get the plant whore happy. It's like, maybe we change that. Big 5-man rotation, and this is a big one too for Auction Esports. If they grab the 3rd seed, they will be able to have 3 plant horrors pushing in different lanes.
I had a game the other day, like somebody pointed out that when we were talking about apparently his girlfriend was listening to a game on Tomb of Spider Queen, and she was just asking, like, when I talked about the web weavers, he was like, is he talking about wet beavers?
Oh no.
So I just casted one entire game, and I called it the Tomb of the Beaver Queen, talked about wet beavers, and was asking, like, why are there so many fucking spiders, and where are the beavers?
In that moment, you need to look back at her and go, yes, yes I am. Jeez. You hear what you want to hear, you know?
Back to the bang bush. So, bot lane. Well, first of all, another last right, and he still doesn't get the kill. Quasar, come on, bro. So, he makes it out at least. The little NATO is a little bit too late for this one, but we've got 4 kills to 2. The seed is up, and this is the first one for the Garden Terrors. At this point, I don't even know what they're called, actually. I'm really confused now. What a fight over here, though! Oh my god!
Oh my god, what is the name of that torpedo? I forgot that. The blunt force gun, the BFG, coming through and hitting every single member on Auction Esports. Ultralisk has got to be ultra happy with that damage he just did. Oh my golly gee!
I mean, that one was one hell of a fight. So lining them up perfectly, huge damage, and now it's 4 kills to 4. We got 15 to 15 on the board, but that's a lot of momentum that Chili Mountain now has. They stole the camp away at the top right and are now using it to taking down the fort here. Level 16 talents are a little bit faster for Oxygen Esports, but they're not going to really be able to properly capitalize on that because Chili Mountain is now close behind in experience.
Bad Benny feeling himself here, jumps in for an engage, gets on top of Masquerade. We do have Q Open stepping up here and trying to lock down Diablo. He is getting some heal in there, a beautiful Firestorm coming in, and some heals from Banana H will keep him alive. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we have a big Merc push being built up from Malthael as he's able to take that Night Camp, and they are looking for that fort. This was earlier damaged by Sergeant Hammer.
Yeah, also, of course, Sergeant Hammer with a Giant Killer. 30,000 damage for the Hammer thus far. 36,000 for Tychus, though, so he's having a great game here. And with the sizzling attacks, he can also really pack a punch in those team fights now. It's a really crazy game. I mean, 2 seats on each side, it's dead even. Kills, structures on the map, everything is pretty much even, with the fort at the bottom of the map finally falling, but also at the top a bit more damage being done here. Everybody's just battling it out for position on seat number 3.
And this is where we're going to have that damn break and really have a huge opening in this game. So it's equally important for both teams. The sustain, though, for Auction Esports is really paying off here. Murdered in particular, able to heal up, he's able to walk away from a fight. Dequaza attempting to lock him down and get some damage in, but he knows that it's going to be a bit difficult to force this fight. As you see right above the C-Tier, we have some control coming in from Deckard Cain.
Odin already being used. In comes Dino. The stun is there. They're trying to go for the kill, and they're also pushing Sergeant Hammer away from the fight. Dequaza's in trouble, and he goes down as Hazo locks him into his sights. They get the kill on Malthael, and now they jump straight in for Ultralisk. But Benny, he's focusing the target. He's switching it over, and they're getting its second kill as Karazim drops.
I just want to shout out Hasuaz. He's playing so well here, able to kind of stay low on HP. Genji actually went to move in and try to kill him off in the mid lane, but he was able to turn around and win that exchange in spades. And this will now unlock the plant terror for all 3 lanes, and we should be seeing some aggression coming in from Auction Esports.
Yeah, they are definitely going to try and make a play now for pretty much every single fort here. That team fight was glorious, and it also led to Diablo being killed. I mean, Diablo right now, he actually, some things changed also with him. So every single time you die, he still keeps all the souls of the Blizzard executives that cancelled HGC. So 25 are always there, but he lost everything else.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
You didn't know.
Oh,
Happy to educate you here. Of course I can say that, I just did.
Oh my god, I guess HGC and everything had to die so Diablo could live. Fair trade, I guess.
That's my revenge for Handsock. Top side keep is attacked, the forts are down, and the bottom is also falling. I'm glad that I still can sometimes surprise you and catch you off guard.
Yeah, I got nothing for that. Thumbs up, man. Say what you want to say.
Hey, they changed it, not me.
Yeah, it was all them, you know? You just pointed it out. You just put a spotlight on it. Oh, we got 3 forts taken out on that push, but the biggest tell here for Auction Esports is look at that experience lead. A full level and moving towards level 20.
Yeah, getting that first objective was huge now. I mean, the only thing that can really bring the blue team back, I believe, is if they get a seat themselves, but first they have to catch up in experience, because it will be level 20 in just a few seconds for the red team.
Yeah. What at 20 is big here. Tychus Odin's pretty huge there. You have to remind me. Isn't Murden much stronger there? He gets rewind still, if I remember correctly, and then at the same time, Hogger just becomes an absolute beast. 20 is huge.
Yeah, I'm a bit curious to see what Benny takes. Lauba is super fun right now to watch on Murden because he always goes rewind and he just hops around on the map like a bunny. It's amazing. They've been chasing multiple times in the games that they played today, and Lauba always just locking in rewind, and then it's like hoppity hop and the dwarf is just bouncing around. It's too good.
He's so unkillable, man. He's the deadliest dwarf in all video games, straight up. Ugh. Okay, here's that 20. What are they going to do with it? The good news here for Chili Mountain is they did a great job of pushing all their lanes out. So it will take a bit of a push from Auction Esports to get that lane straight towards a turret or a wall for them to get value out of this 20, which buys more time for Chili Mountain to get 20 themselves. So they're grabbing that now by attempting to grab Merc camps. They'll probably clear out that bottom lane and then go defend top.
Yep, they also push the top lane now. I mean, all that Chili Mountain wants is the experience for level 20, and they're gonna get it, but they're sieging up hard. They're really sieging up hard on that keep. They want that thing. The seed is spawning, and Hogger is currently playing for it. 20 isn't there yet for Chili Mountain, but they will get it in just a moment. That's, of course, also a lot of very strong talents that are going to come in for the blue team. But at least for now, it is the Oxygen Esports show.
This is one of my favorite things I actually picked up from Hasselhoff years ago. He was one of the first Tychuses to actually continuously try to use that big red button on offensive gameplay. And they just try to take out structures. And then when it's about, I don't know, 5-6 seconds left on it, you just skedaddle out of there, you clear out another lane instead and go to the objective. Hasselhoff is a master at playing strategic value out of that 20.
Yeah, Haas was always like a super smart player. I mean, not only with the macro games that he sometimes executed with the Vikings, we had one of them today, but he was the one that ruined Blackheart's Bay with false death. He was the one that figured out quickly, hey, you actually have to never fight on this map. All that you got to do is just run around them, disengage, and either turn in or push lanes. And he did it with false death over and over again, and after he figured that out and started to use it in competitive play, everybody started to ban the map out, and everybody was like, yeah, this map is done.
Yeah, I call him Wrinkle Obs because he has a wrinkled brain. Like, the dude just thinks constantly, and every time that you look into him in the eyes, he's forming a new wrinkle. A new strategy is being born when he's not talking to you. Under that beanie is a massive-ass mega mind. I'm not even kidding. It's huge.
He's maybe not completely going ADRD on us, but yeah, the mad scientist, I think, still has him caught there. But here we are, 20 versus 20. Transgression is in. Ultra capacitors are also ready. The Tornadoes are part of this, and obviously Chili Mountain is very interested in grabbing a seed. They haven't lost the keep yet, but they need to take some structures out, and there's no better way than getting a couple of Garden Terrors into play.
Auction actually has the control here. Look in the top lane. There's a catapult or two being built up already to start moving in for that keep. They do not care about grabbing the seed. All they care about is denying and slowing down their opponent. They may back away from every single attempt from Chili Mountain to move in. There we go. They grab the seed, and now we'll see if they try to keep them here while they get that cannon value.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit awkward because now the next seed is going to determine the next objective, one way or another.
True. Yeah, it's real weird. Double deuces on the board right now.
Diablo has died 5 times, by the way. Masquerade is definitely struggling there at the front. And you can't really blame him. I mean, there's so many stuns against him, and Hazu is sitting at 50,000 damage, the same amount that we're seeing for Sergeant Hammer. Now, the camps are, of course, still priority on the map. And Dino is going to move topside and is going to try and take that fort down so that they are not getting that much pressured by those catapults.
It's actually hilarious. Like, if you pick Diablo, you feel strong, powerful, you're a meaty tank, and then suddenly Tychus locks in, you become the wimpy kitty cat. You're like, please, team, do something! Because it's true. Like, you legitimately almost get nullified. Your job is to eat that minigun, back away, and hope your team is able to trade out some equal damage while you sustain back up and heal. It's a rough job to play Diablo against Tychus, so kudos to him. 5 deaths might even be considered a little bit low, you know, considering where this game is at.
So, here we go. 7-sided strike, Transgression. Benny, super low, nearly dying here. Has to pop immediately his ult, but Karasim is dead, and so is Malthael. That should be game right here, right now. Karasim and Malthael are both gone. If they don't get a couple of counter kills, it's going to be another objective for Oxygen Esports.
Yeah, we did have Dino go in and attempt to get a couple of X-Strikes. Hits 2 of them, but not enough damage. And with Deckard Cain here sustaining through for Auction Esports, this seed looks like it might just be gone. The question for Chili Mountain here is, do we harass him and try to stop it? Because if a push comes our way with a big red button, can we even hold it?
I mean, I honestly don't think that they have a chance to... They gotta win the team fight. They gotta force a team fight. They gotta get kills. That's the only way for them to turn this around, I think. Their only good lane is the top lane, because it's so far pushed out that the Web Weavers, the Garden Terrors are gonna take ages to actually arrive there. But keeps are definitely gonna fall now.
Middle lane. We have Tychus and crew pushing on up. Murden already sitting down in the bottom left, trying to slow down the tank from moving forward. Goes in. He needs to watch out for getting landed into the corner. Oh my god, the rewind you were talking about. The CC is huge. Diablo is like, someone help me. Oh my gosh, he has been completely obliterated. Masquerade didn't even have a chance there, and he loses all his souls. He's on his way on back.
Yeah, he got his souls together really quickly, though, from being killed earlier, so now he's back to business. We have 11 kills to 4. It's definitely Oxygen Esports game to lose at this point, or at least that's what it feels like. But they can't get too much done here yet. I honestly expected them to at least drop 2 keeps pretty quickly, and they weren't able to do that. The defense was quite alright for Chili Mountain, so only 1 keep has fallen, and the one in the middle. If they are not able to get more done here, then Chili Mountain is still not out of this.
It's okay, it's time now. Big red button comes online, and with Genji in the top lane, this is a 5v4, and this is where that Odin and Hasselhoff's strategy of just trying to out-siege it, you outrange that tower there. Just bring it down, try to get the big red button, hit around it as well, and just get it down to half HP. Even that is huge itself, because that makes cannons even more deadly in the future.
Obviously, Genji is now moving back down after he already defeated the objective on the top lane, but they need to engage, they need that fight, they need that kill, and they need to be looking for it. The longer this game lasts, the more problematic for them. The only thing that can really save them here is a teamfight victory. But so far, they haven't really gotten a good opportunity to make that happen.
Oh man, this is terrifying. Night camp up available here on the bottom lane. It seems like they're trying to bait out a fight. You see Ultra's position over the left side. He'll be able to freely siege if they can hold the front line. This is where Diablo's going to have a
mid lane.
Bit of a rough time, but we'll see if we can do it.
Catapults on the core already, and we're 22 minutes in, so they're not going to drop the entire thing, but they might do some damage here. Once again, the fight for the camp. Dino coming in from behind. Lightning Breath. They're trying to keep Diablo alive, but he gets focused quickly. Masquerade low, using his level 20, using a lot of terror. The core is losing hit points already for the blue team. They're in real trouble here. 98%, the catapult's taken down, but new one's already pushing in, and it's the red team that takes the camp, and once again they're focusing on the bot lane.
Yeah, I'm the Giants is actually pretty big. It cut off the wave in the middle of the lane to buy them more time, just in case if they lost that fight or lost Diablo, they could back away and still hold on. Dino's here on the right. He's been trying to jump on top of Tychus every time that Diablo goes forward. So, like, right here, Masquerade will go in. You'll see Tychus step up, and then Dino's going to jump in and try to put some pressure. There we go. Straight hostiles.
Yeah.
Ooh, wasn't enough, though. Malthael buys back.
Yeah, Malthael immediately comes back, but this game is insane right now. I mean, so much pressure. Love what Oxygen Esports does here, but they might overstep and they do a little bit. Hawkeye is down, and now it might be a chase. Here comes Diablo, trying to get a hold of anybody that he can reach. Deckard Kane is on the run. Blaze is already dead. Seven-sided strike against Hazorbs, and Odin is dead too. They might lose the game here. They actually might lose the game. They lost 3 heroes, and now Yasuo is getting attacked as well. Diablo grabs him. Last rites. The old man is dead, and here comes the seed. They're grabbing the seed. They might make it happen.
Oh my gosh. 2 plant terror waves grabbed for Auction Esports. They go all the way to 23 minutes, and they fumble the ball. Blue team picks up these plant terrors, and they are moving their way on in. Ultimate's already showing away straight on top of that keep. Bad May trying to buy time, and he might be able to do it. Every form of DPS he keeps off of this keep is great for him. The polymorph comes in for Banana. He's able to kite away. Dino dropping down even the little Karazim clones there just to make sure they're tanking up the tower, and that's going to be a keep. 20 seconds for Tychus to come in. Khaldor, they might be able to do it.
3 seconds until Hawkeye's back. 2 seconds. They can't get the kill here. Benny needs to get out. Benny needs to get out, and he dies. Benny is dead. The stagger dead. The fort's already lost to the Garden Terrace. They're moving through the bottom of the map and even into the mid lane right now. The top keep is already under pressure. So is the middle. The shield is falling. Chili Mountain. The fuck is happening?
They are low though. Bahaswa gonna hit with the last right. It's gonna be another pick coming in once again. Dequaza has no mana or health. Dino able to kite away, and Ultralus is putting damage where he can. 56%, 54%. This core is continually to fall here, Khaldor. Can they do it? It's slow and steady for him.
They're going for it, and they're taking it. Unbelievable. The comeback. Chili Mountain taking a 2-0 lead in the best of 7 grand final.
Wow.
Well, we're headed to Cursed Hollow, and I can't really believe that I'm saying this, but we have a 2-0 lead for Chili Mountain. After some insane pressure on the bot lane by Oxygen Esports, at some point they lost control of that pressure play and got farmed on the way back to their core, and that was all that Chili Mountain needed to finally push through the map, take some forts and keeps down, and then win the game. So now a 2-0 lead in the best of 7 grand final for Chili Mountain. So pretty impressive, but it must be a frustrating experience for Oxygen Esports at this point in time.
Yeah, we were talking about it in the break. I think Auction Esports today is playing well. They just had a couple of bumbles that Chili Mountain is just such a well ironed out team that they're able to execute a strategy to finish off the map and earn the W. I think Auction Esports just needs to take a quick breather, mentally recheck, and get back into this, because it is a best of 7 series. We've learned a lot already between these 2 series. Auction Esports can 100% do this. We can see reverse sweeps like no other, and Chili Mountain themselves have to be careful and stay focused, because these teams are quality, man. These guys are bopping today.
Yeah, and obviously there's also a little bit of an endurance aspect to all of this, because this is now, let me quickly think, this is game number 9 for Oxygen Esports today. So yeah, I mean, going through the loser bracket definitely comes with disadvantages. There's always people, you know, that make the arguments of like, hey, if you're coming through the winner bracket, you should get an advantage over the team that makes it through the makes it into the grand finals through the losers bracket. I feel if you go to the grand finals through the losers bracket, you have to play so many games. It's really draining. And now that I think about it, it's actually the 10th game that they're playing today. So yeah, that's a lot of focus that you really have to have there.
And energy drinks, straight up. Twitch Prime. Brightwing will be the first pick here. We had Brightwing banned out actually on the second map. Brightwing, Falstad, most globals have always been a staple for Cursed Hollow and the longevity of HOTS. And for all the years that we've been there, every time that you picked up a global, you've gotten some value when it comes to Cursed Hollow, because you can preemptively see where the objectives are going to be, and you just go to the opposite side of the map and you squeeze out a little bit more experience. So I love this pickup here. I love seeing globals mixed in here and there when it comes to teams, just because they've always been a strong strategy to execute.
What I really like also is that both of the teams are not banning Hammer out anymore. Everybody's just saying, yeah, go for it, we'll deal with it. And that is pretty cool, because I feel even when Hammer then wins, it's not like the one aspect of the composition that really drives it home for the team that takes it. And
Sure.
We've seen multiple games now where Hammer teams were also not able to take it at all. So now we get Urel and we got Hanzo. So the priority of Sergeant Hammer is already falling off pretty heavily from, hey, we must ban this, to, okay, we take it first, to like, yeah, maybe we're gonna take it later. We don't even know if we ban it on the 3rd position, because we still want to deal with Nick's crazy Tyrael plays, where he just jumps all over the map. But so far...
I mean, you're already seeing the adjustments against Sergeant Hammer.
Yeah.
People are just mounting up more and just rotating in different lanes, which is like one of the ways that you can just break Sergeant Hammer compositions apart, especially on 3-lane maps. Yeah. Or, of course, you can just ban her, and everything that we just said in the last, like, 5 minutes is completely deleted. But,
again,
you know,
3rd position right now, so really pretty late. If you look through the tournaments over the last 3-4 weeks, we've seen Hammer just like falling in priority again. Initially, it was really like you have to ban Sergeant Hammer on the 1st spot. Then it was always a 1st pick. And now it's just like starts moving down a little bit, at least between these teams. Doesn't mean that you can't use Hammer any longer, that it's not a threat, but it's not like this oppressive, hey, it has to be immediately dealt with situation. We got a lot of mobile heroes now also on the side of Chili Mountain. Karazim gets picked again. We have Genji, so they already have a lot of heroes that can jump into the opponent's backline. And the final 2 picks for Oxygen Esports to round up the draft for them. Arthas and Thrall. All right, let's go.
oh my gosh. Warcraft 3 bros coming out.
Yeah, not shabby. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Benny's Arthas. They played it, I believe, once in the qualifiers.
I don't hate this. Arthas and Thrall are kind of hard to kill if you don't have quick burst damage, because they're self-sustain, and then of course Arthas is just a bit of a bully himself.
Yeah.
And with such a heavy front line between Blaze, Diablo, and Karazim, Arthas is going to get value here.
It's nice against Karazim too, so it's definitely they have played it before, but it's very rare. But I love when they do it. So yeah, guys, Cursed Hollow, map number 3. Let's see who takes it. Game number 3, Chili Mountain. They have the 2-0 lead in the best of 7 series here at the grand final of the X Cup Summer. Quasar on Blaze for the blue team. Dino and Genji, Banana Age and Karazim. Ultralisk with Sylvanas, and Masquerade on Diablo.
Repping the red team, Haselwavs on Thrall, Yasu on Brightwing, Bad Biddy on Arthas, Nick playing Hanzo, and Q Open playing Urel.
And as we're heading into the game, once again, big shout out to Mr. X. So in case that you guys were not aware of it, but there's 4,000 euros on the line here. This is the 4th season of the X Cup. It's the last season for now, and this entire thing has been made possible by Mr. X, hence the name. And he's just simply a Private Heroes of the Storm fan that loved Heroes, started in the alpha, was pretty upset with Blizzard killing HGC and wanted to help the competitive scene here. So without him, we wouldn't see all these big fights and kills against Thrall in the first 30 seconds of the game. So big shout out to him. And a big problem for the red team as they are getting absolutely murdered here.
Oh my god.
The fuck just happened?
Jesus Christ. Excuse me, did we queue into Storm League? Everyone's fighting in the mid lane. Okay, I think we saw Thrall and Arthas trying to get cheeky and set up for a flank in that bush in the top right, and we had immediately Diablo to sniff that out. And with the control coming in, from Sylvanas and Genji. They just ran them over. 3 kills already for Chili Mountain.
I mean, I thought, all right, guys, we're pretty safe. We're going to have a couple of seconds. I can once again thank Mr. X for making all of this possible. And immediately when we're talking, it's like, okay, Thrall is going to die. We get another kill. It's like, what the hell? They're all dying.
Yeah, that was rough. My gosh. So now you have to stabilize. Luckily, it's only half a level of experience. You can get that back pretty easily if you play the macro correctly. But immediately, look at the map. You just see everyone playing a bit safe aside from Arthas, who can pretty much get away from anything. We have the Giants being snagged immediately to get that pressure on that bottom lane so they can start working towards that first curse. But already, level 4 connecting for Chili Mountain as they already are rushing to their first talents.
I mean, the good news is obviously that the early game kills are not really all that impactful, but it still makes a difference in regards to the early level 4 talent. But it's only 800 experience that we're talking about here with those 3 kills. So yes, it makes a difference, but not all that much. The problem is you have to still try to claw your way slowly back, and the fights are still continuing. I mean, both teams are not letting up here. Masquerade dodging out on the Howling Blast as Arthas moves in and try and locks him down. Level 4, nearly level 5, and they're still starting to chase heroes. So we get finally also the 4 talents with the Frostwolf pack, for example, on the side of Oxygen Esports. It's a very American space code once again with the hand of freedom. So much freedom. Do I get fries with that? And the first stack for the Frostwolf pack.
The only thing you can get here nowadays. Jesus, it's been so rough lately. American. All right, so if you look over to Mr. Nick himself, look at his Hanzo and his stacks. Level 1. Symbol Geometry is sitting at 14 stacks already, so that is a good thing to come out of that early brawl that we had. He'll be finishing up that quest soon enough, and then once he finishes the reward, once he gets 6 more stacks, he'll be making more arrows to bounce around. And if I remember correctly, these arrow builds are quite destructive against bosses, which are a win condition in this game.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Penny's Howling Blast didn't really go anywhere there. It was more anticipated that Blaze would walk down, which he didn't, but instead, it's another grab by Diablo. Brightwing with the save, and in comes the Space Goat. Masquerade goes down. Diablo's Ragdoll getting kicked around a little bit here, so they finally get their first kill. Good for them. Oxygen Esports. Well, they lose Hanzo right after they get the kill. 4 kills, 1
so far. Well, based off of what we've seen so far in these games, one team usually takes the lead in the early game, and then mid-game suddenly things are switched up, and then the opposing team suddenly wins. So actually, if we look at trends and Excel sheets, this is actually really, really good for Oxygen Esports. I say die 3 more times, honestly.
7-7 now, so both teams with the talents. They're diving in once again. Quasar finds himself on the wrong side of that engage though, and there is nowhere to go for him. I mean, he can run around a little bit, but he's definitely going to die. So goodbye, my friend. Blaze is down, the 2nd kill for the red team. Yeah, they're getting a little bit more headway here, and you can see the experience gap shrinking.
Okay, Symbol Geometry is finished up. Eternal Hunger is still being worked on. But we do have one of our talent quests finished up. Over to Genji, Shuriken Mastery is about 29. He's going to get his first reward soon, and they'll be moving towards that 60 to get 3 charges of the Shuriken.
6 kills in total. Genji doing his thing. Also, a couple more stacks coming together for Arthas as well. I really would have loved for, at some point, that build to become a little bit stronger and that bonus damage that you're getting with the trade to be increased. But just the mana management alone for Arthas is already going to be pretty nice here. Now, obviously, when we talk about stacks, Diablo is also trying to get his soul stacks together. First tribute has already been taken. Second one is now popping up on the map in the battle in the mid lane. Once more, trying to go for Masquerade, but he's still alive, and they're starting to push the red team back once again. This was a 5 versus 4. Blaze was top the entire time and is damaging that fort severely.
The good news for this team, though, is we have a ton of poke for Oxygen Esports, so they should be able to delay this tribute from being grabbed. But you are right about that 5v4. It has become a 4v4 now with Urel going on the bottom lane to sub its experience. 9.25 for each team on that experience. And you're seeing Nick here just starting to really ramp up in damage at 17k already and leading the team as he finished up that first quest.
I'm really a little bit flabbergasted by the fact that Blaze is getting that top fort for free. As long as they don't lose anybody here, this is a huge win, even if they have to sacrifice the tribute. I mean, Blaze has been doing nothing but using his PhD and PvE at the top lane for the last 2 or 3 minutes or so. And he finally got it. It's down. He killed the fort.
The fort's down, and that means they are squeezing a little bit closer to 10. That 10's about to hit, and you're going to see Auction Esports attempt to move in for a fight before that 10 connects. Chili Mountain finally hitting it though, and a lightning breath comes out as well as a bunker.
And they're immediately starting to dash in. 7-sided, Copenhagen is dead. Well done by Banana. He just jumped ahead of him, used the 7-sided strike, and at that point Urel only had two options. Walk through it and die, try and retreat, and move straight into the rest of the blue team.
I just don't know if they're going to have enough damage to kill off people here.
I mean, they do. You have
Earthquake?
quite a bit of damage if you're playing it properly and you're just like syncing on the same target, but it just feels that they are always a step behind right now. And you know, you have the level 10 ability coming in. Now you have level 10 for both teams, but you're looking again at a fort that has already been destroyed. You're looking at one team that has two tributes to 0. And it becomes more dangerous to them by the minute. They have not that many chances anymore to equalize the score here.
Yeah, we are actually really playing for this poke style. We even have an Emerald Wind being picked up by Brightwing just to keep people away. Trying to focus on controlling objectives. This is good for boss control, good for grabbing the curses.
I like the steal on the camp though. just moved in and like, yeah, thanks boys. Thanks for doing all the hard work. We're gonna take it from here.
We got a Dragon Strike, by the way, too. No arrow engage. And that's good at level 20. Like a level 20 comp, 4 Auction Esports could be good. The question is, can they get there? 2 tributes already grabbed for Chili Mountain. Bunker comes out once again. They're focusing the target. The Polymorph was on point from Yasu. Hell yes, Yasu! That Polymorph was sick!
Yeah, they're trying to go for the fight. Masquerade is already down, but he's back to business. Gonna arrive back soon. Dequaza also in trouble. Another kill, and here we go. Oxygen Esports really bringing the pain now to Chili Mountain as they get the double kill. They have the tribute potentially up here, even thinking about grabbing the boss. Death timers are low, so they definitely need to account for that because Blaze is not gonna be dead for long.
Yasu straight up won that fight. Can I say that again? Yasu won that fight. Bunker went down, attempting to save Diablo. Diablo waddles way over. He's like, I got this stuff. There's no Tigers here to kill me. And then Brightwing says, nope. Turns him into a little piggy. And then he gets focused down. And immediately you had a 5v4 in the favor of Auction Esports. Beautifully done by Yasu. I want to shout the supports because they never get enough love. Good job, man.
Bosses are taken from both. So down at the bot lane, blue team already has it. And let's not forget, they got Sylvanas. Always that Sylvanas factor when you're talking about bosses. Any camp, they can push the lanes down. And they won't be able to outpush anything here. So Vision has now been claimed too. They're making a play for those Siege Giants. And there's not too many heroes that are currently rotating down here. So Sylvanas is doing exactly what she's supposed to. She's enhancing them push even further, taking that fort down. Siege Giants are about to be claimed. But the red team is starting to get in position to maybe deal with them after all. Yeah, Ahazu ups. Oh, he's in trouble too, and he's dead. Sundering, not going his way either. Thrall is gone. Level 13 talents give an advantage over to Chili Mountain, and they are pushing aggressively through the bottom of the map now.
That they are. Sylvanas here to aid as well. Gosh, look how healthy that boss is. About 80% of their HP. My golly gee. All right, working on these turrets here. Bad Benny will step up and try to clear it up. This is actually a bit of a weakness here for the composition. You have to see Nick try to nail these arrows perfectly while also keeping an eye on Diablo. There's the engage. Diablo finds it. Cleanse comes out. And we do see the Dragon Strike also pop in. So nice job by Nick for staying alive and good assistance from his team.
Yeah, and Masquerade dies because of that Dragon Strike. He couldn't really get out of it, and he ate a lot of damage there. Initially, it was Nick that barely survived all of this. Talking about surviving, Benny, oh my god. They take Brightwing down, but Brightwing still able to save Arthas at least. The keep is still here. I don't think they can take it, but it's so low. And, well, if Ultraless, can they get a hit here? Dino protected, and he gets the heals. Oh, nearly got Hansod on the way out.
Down to 100, and I think it was 15 HP. We did have a Urel versus Blaze brawl on the top as they were setting up for that tribute, and Dequaza actually has it for him. But I do think, if you're checking out Auction Esports, they don't mind this too much. They should have the wave clear. They're dealing with the Giants already up in the top right corner. They just found a couple of kills. I think they might lose their fort and keep in the bottom right, but they're still in the game. Remember, they have a Brightwing. And Brightwing is, or any global for that matter, is great at holding a lane that might have pressure from it because of catapults. So we do have tools to deal with it. But Chili Mountain may want to try and push and end this game quick here, because 20 seems terrifying.
They were also just waiting it out a little bit on the tribute to allow the rest of the team to get back on the map.
Smart.
And they are close on 16 now. So Genji is already dealing with the bottom of the map. There was absolutely no doubt that the keep would fall. and that will give them experience that leads to a talent advantage, and that is kicking in right now. So this is where it gets dangerous for Oxygen Esports, and they're also taking at least a bit of damage at the top keep.
Oh, the way we see Genji playing here, Dino in particular, is so annoying. He was in the bottom right working on the keep. He was backdooring the second keep here in the middle lane, which forces people to pull off to deal with it, so you can't get a real fight, especially with the talent advantage against there. Smart play by Dino, using the ability of mobility to punish his opponents.
Now they get another couple of waves here in the middle, taking the towers down, or at least trying to, opening up opportunities for later in the game to get additional keeps destroyed. The gate is down, so that gives them vision. They nearly get the tower too, and the top keep has taken at least a bit of damage, and Dino is still working through all the vision here. But once again, Chili Mountain is ahead. Again, they've pulled it off.
They are ahead. They did burn some cards there with being able to use their tribute, but hey, they got catapult pressure on the bottom lane for it. From here, the bosses are up in about 2 minutes, and they still have a window here before that 20 Dragon Strike ability comes online for Hanzo, which can be surprisingly destructive. It's just a matter of whether they can find those angles, as Khaldor was mentioning. What we need to be watching for is usually Sylvanas in this situation. Wherever she is positioned is usually the win condition in this team composition.
Hanzo's 20 is just crazy. Like, the cooldown reduction is so sick. You can easily throw out 2-3 ults during a big team fight if it is prolonged. Oh, missing the stun against Arthurs. That got dangerous for a moment. But they're now trying to pressure with this camp a bit too. Already looking for more kills. Sylvanas getting attacked here. And Ultralisk is beasting it as well. They're really pressuring this now. And look at the top lane, for example. We already have Genji poking in just time and time again. They're always going for these marginal gains, and it's really working. But only if they can keep their tanks and everybody else alive. Again, Brightwing with the Emerald Wind. They get the kills! Arthurs, he's dead. They saved Diablo. Arthurs dies. Thrall is dead. What a nightmare once again for Oxygen Esports, as a third kill is coming through and they are again going berserk.
Is Dino a pirate? Because that was great! He landed that X-ray on top of 3 people. 3 members have fallen, and they may just be able to push in for a core. They move towards the keep. They want to have a little bit more mini control and maybe set up for a possible kill. Yasu comes in with another beautiful polymorph. No matter what happens here, this Brightwing gameplay has been sublime. Third keep finally does get picked off, and the core is exposed. But with that timer still being low, remember we're still at 14 minutes, Chili Mountain's going to pull away.
There's 2 bosses up on the map, and every single minute that passes is going to make this game more difficult for Oxygen Esports to win. Because the catapults will scale, and they are going to be continuously pressured here. Already, Masquerade makes sure that through the tribute that he's grabbing at the top lane, there's no way for Oxygen Esports to get a curse anytime soon. So that's already big. Now they are trying to go to level 20, and of course they're taking bosses as well. Is a boss trade, top side has to be taken, then they have to defend at the bottom, and while they're going to do that, what we're going to see is the blue team hit level 20 and try to end the game.
Oh boy. This is it. This is where it all opens up, my man. 19.5. Staring straight at that Sylvana. She is heading straight to the bottom lane now. Brightwing is holding that global on the top, trying to soak up experience, but she will not be able to obtain enough to get to level 20.
They don't even have to wait. Yeah, exactly. They can just go through the bot lane. It's enough for level 20. I thought that they had to wait a bit longer and get the experience somewhere else, but that's not even the case. They can push with the boss and 20, so it's even worse for Oxygen Esports.
Urel goes in. They're trying to find some fights, but Dino comes in the back line, comes in for another X-Strike. That's going to be 2 kills. He goes for a Swift Strike, goes to the back line. Nick in trouble. He is cleaned up. Dino coming back after mounting up, try and find these kills. And Bad Betty pops his ultimate and stands at a bush. He knows this game is over. The core begins to melt, and Chili Mountain is attempting to go up for a 3-0, and they are easily going to get it.
Incredible. 3 games in a row. Beautiful performance by Chili Mountain. I mean, kudos. Credit where credit is due. And we are headed to the 4th map, the first match point of the grand final.
Wow.
Sky Temple, map number 4. Trick Slayer and me are ready for the 4th game of the series, and I don't know, it seems like it is, well, it could be a flawless victory for Chili Mountain. They have an advantage, obviously. Coming from the winner bracket, they are a lot more fresh than Oxygen Esports, who had to go through all the trouble of the losers bracket here today already, so that's a lot of games. It reminds me a little bit of, do you remember Team Liquid at one of the tournaments in Germany, actually, at Gamescom, where they had to play, I think, 15 maps in a row? You remember that?
Oh, sure, yeah. There's been
Ages
some long
ago.
days. It's kind of like one of the things that you sign up for in esports. Like, I think most people universally just know and agree that it's a 3-day weekend and it's a triathlon. Like, it's part of the skill of being a pro gamer is sometimes you are just gonna have to go back to back to back to back, and endurance is probably more important than strategy sometimes.
Yeah, I still remember that in the early days you also had to oftentimes like solo cast at events, or like duo cast was only 2 people. And I still remember of solo casting at an event, which is very different from solo casting at home, by the way, because you have like the air from the venue, there's like lights in your face all the time that you just can't turn off. Like, it's always loud, so the noise pollution is crazy. And on one of the dream hacks, I think I did 14 hours or something in a row. That was bonkers. I mean, that was still StarCraft 2 and super early, but yeah, events are always a bit nuts. Especially with all the noise. It's just crazy.
Ban on Sergeant Hammer. Get her out of here.
Alright,
Mama
they're finally
Hammer
done
is
with
no
it.
more.
Yeah, Sky Temple, and that's honestly interesting because Sky, as I told you in the break, Sky is not a map that we have seen at all. Like, Sky gets banned, Sky doesn't get picked, so this is, I think, the first time in the entirety of the playoffs, and if I'm not mistaken, also most of the qualifiers, that Sky Temple gets picked, so we could be in for a couple of interesting picks here too.
That's kind of the beauty of best of sevens. You usually have those 1 or 2 picks that just like, all right, let's see what you guys got on this. I remember Brax's Holdout being one of those for a bit, where it was like, all right, we're gonna change up the game a little bit. I remember Genji being like wildly OP there. Dahaka and Blaze grabbed once again.
This map for me will always be the map where Fnatic came in with the McDonald's strategy and just decided a mid-season brawl in their favor. Like the good old Chen soaking tower ammunition. I am so salty. Yeah, I'm so salty that they took that away, by the way. I thought tower ammunition was a cool thing. I think you could have changed it. I didn't think you had to remove it. I think they could have did a little bit more. Like, it was a cool mechanic to have. It was interesting to have like tanks that would just soak tower ammunition and strategies that evolved around that. So I really feel that made the game quite unique, and some adjustments on that would have been better than just removing it.
Yeah, straight up, like, I mean, it's a further discussion, but, like, overall, I think most people agree that the side laner losing tower ammo just killed multiple strategies, straight up.
Yeah.
Just because of how much pressure you're able to put on the map. It removed aggressive gameplay, and you passively become more about wave control and just soaking experience now.
Yeah.
It was definitely a big change.
But well, 3-0, so Chili Mountain, they seem to be on absolute roll here. I don't know if they have just found the answer on how to take Oxygen Esports down. They struggled a lot more against the Bang Bush in the winner bracket final. But it just feels like in the match between these two teams that they just have unlocked the secret on how to beat Oxygen. They weren't able to pull it off when they were playing in the offline environment in Paris at the Masters Clash finals, but still, right here, they are looking stellar. And let's not forget, when they faced each other in the winner bracket semifinal, it was a 3-0 victory for Chili Mountain.
Ooh, this is actually a bit of a ping pong comp. Getting drafted here by Chili Mountain. Greymane and Karazim. Greymane was originally debuted on this map back in the day as one of the infamous split pushers that was very good at killing forts. If anyone ever responded to a watchtower or a temple being grabbed for control, Greymane would just go to a different lane and kill your tower. So something you gotta watch out for here.
Leon Jaina, so we finally get Jesus Jaina. This time not with Nyx Medivh though, different map. And well, last pick, Masquerade. What are we getting as the main tank for them? So both of the teams are starting this off with the triple melee again. On the one side, a mage as the main damage dealer. On the other side, it is going to be a Greymane that is going to get most of it done from the back and maybe in the front here. At Masquerade, oh, Malthael! We have Blaze, Dehaka, Malthael at the front. Very big threat to Diablo now too. And yeah, Masquerade is playing a main tank Dehaka on this one.
Diablo has been getting bullied today. We'll see if Bad Benny can rock them here. They need to, actually. Yeah. If we want to have this series continue forward, Oxygen Esports has got to pull a rabbit out of their hat. Let's go into it here for Sky Temple.
Chili Mountain, they have match point number 1 on Sky Temple. Dequaza on the left side. For the blue team is playing Blaze. We have Ultralisk on Malthael. Masquerade with the main tank Dehaka, Dino on Greymane, and Banana H on Kerosene.
To the far right, Asawad playing Jaina. Q Open playing Hogger. Nick on Leoric, Brightwing once again being played by Yasu, and Bad Biddy bringing it in with a Diablo.
The one thing that I find kind of interesting is that normally when we are talking about Sky Temple, one of the things that most teams are really drafting for is also that, I want to say, inevitable fight for the boss that will happen at some point. Either your opponent is about to hit level 20, you feel you have to force the fight before they do, or you hit level 20 and want to make the play for it. But that boss battle is going to happen eventually, unless it's a very, very uncharacteristic style of Sky Temple play. And what we normally see is something like a Tyrael that has a Sanctification, maybe a Falsa that has a Mighty Gust. But this time, a lot of these things have not really been drafted in the same way. Now, you have a lot of presence, of course, with all of these melee heroes and characters, but it's not really catering to the ults that we're going to see as much as with the normal hero choices.
I like that we see Malthael, Greymane, and Blaze just rotating, and you have Banana just shattering constantly, just in case we see a Bad Biddy engage on Diablo, but that is yet to occur. 1 minute hits, and it's time for the camps, and Greymane is instantly there because he nom-noms those real quick, and he wants to get lane pressure here. And Dequaza's going to scout it out. It's just a matter of whether or not they want to do anything about it.
Yeah, the playstyle is going to be interesting because we have now a situation in which Greymane can not only go for camps, but he also can try and go for structures. And they are invading already. Oh my god, 5 versus 5. They go for Benny and he goes down. Massive aggression. They get the kill, they did get the double kill, and they steal the camp. Chili Mountain opening this one up with an absolute bang.
Showcasing the strength of Dehaka, but also Blaze being able to drop down his passive and get some damage reduction, allowed him to hold that down. Dehaka came in, gave a tongue, and it was over that quickly. And this is where Greymane can be destructive. Even with just pure auto attacks, not even moving into that Worgen form, he just clears out these towers. And now with the front wall open, this means a second temple will set up a potential fort kill if they're able to grab it.
Yeah, this is a nightmare for Chili Mountain because now its side walls are gone. They could try and make a play for the fort and remove the fountain even. I mean, back in the day, that was always the play that you tried to make at the bot lane to prepare for the second objective phase to take that fountain down. Now it doesn't work anymore unless they get the thing, but they're getting everything right now. They're getting 1 kill against Diablo. They're taking Brightwing down. And that is a massive lead for Chili Mountain here. 4 kills to 0. Hazu without mana, top lane. I mean, every single lane of the map is collapsing for Oxygen Esports.
Bruh, that was a 4v3 Diablo flank that was meant to pick off the Greymane. Dino did one thing important. He immediately jumped on top of Diablo. That way he would have the ability to switch out of Worgen form back into human form and escape if this fight did not work out for them. The thing is Bad Biddy didn't think he was going to keep going for the engage and just kind of stood there. And before it was like over, before his team could even push up and help him out, he had lost half his HP. Blaze came in with a jet propulsion, Kerosene even came and punched him in the face, and it was just that quick. You gotta be lightning fast against Chili Mountain, because if not, they will pounce on you like Mufasa.
Yeah, Mufasa. 7 is on the board. That's the lead right there for them. And obviously, here comes the attack against Nick. So yeah, fantastic position at this point for Chili Mountain. Again, we said it before and we say it again. For Oxygen Esports, it's been tough. It's been a long day. They played a lot of games in a row, but that's the problem when you come through the losers bracket. The big advantage for Chili Mountain is that they have a much easier time towards the grand final. They gotta have less games to play, and there is a clear disadvantage if you are moving through the losers bracket instead. It's a lot more games to play, and despite the fact that that Oxygen Esports decided most of those clearly in their favor, they are still on game number 11 or game number 12 now. So they get a kill at least, but the counter kill against Hogger also happens. So 5 kills to 1 in total, and the temples are still being captured here. Few shots fired against the blue team, but we already have 1 fort lost at the top for Oxygen Esports and another one in the middle, halfway destroyed.
Yeah, gosh, that was just such a great turn-off. A turn and play for Chili Mountain. All they need to do now is soak every lane and move to level 10, and they should have that before the temple if they play macro correctly. Hang on, Masquerade might get picked off here, though. By himself, he goes for an early burrow. He's trying to get to that bush so he gets some movement speed. He comes out invisible, but Bad Benny waits it out. There goes a Hogger block. Masquerade also trying to provide the heals. He gets the drag on Jaina, who would be the most damage, but it's just not enough. A 4v1 will be a kill for him. However, in the bottom lane, 2 Giants grab. Minions also soaked up. Dahaka will have burrow up when he spawns, can move straight to a lane, and they can still board to level 10, so not too bad of a trade for him.
Let's be honest here for just a second. The biggest problem that they have, I mean, it's twofold. First of all, on the next objective, there's no fountain for the red team at the bot lane anymore that they can use to just tap mana and hit points. And, well, as we're having the fight here, Benny might be in trouble. Now they get away. The next problem is that Chili Mountain can technically, at this point, just always go for a trade on temples, because they are heavily ahead in structures, and that is all that matters on Sky Temple. Since the objective attacks structures directly through those shots fired, you can either push side lanes or go for these temples right now. And with level 10, they're pulling a Fnatic here. I'm telling you, they're pulling a Fnatic style. They have level 10, they immediately go for the boss, and they're going to push the bot lane even further to do even more structural damage and make those temples that they're going to capture from here on out even stronger.
Hops in the bush. There's gonna be 5 people on the top lane. Masquerade is like, alright, I guess I'll keep trading out my life for my team to get objectives and push out the entire lane. Sure, good trade, thumbs up. As the other 4 members go straight to the middle lane, it puts more damage on top of this fort, and with the boss pushing in on the keep wall there, things are looking great macro-wise. Can the level 10 be enough for Auction Esports? They go for a big tomb on top of the Blaze, and Blaze drops out a bunker and just hops on out. Does not care at all.
The funny thing is actually that that boss at the bottom of the map is not really doing as much as you would think, because it's a 6-minute boss. I mean, it doesn't get much earlier than that. Takes the tower down or 2, so it's at least some damage, but it's not going to do enough. Fort in the mid lane has been taken out. He has to fight the ring. The last rites, and Jaina is dead.
Diablo continuing to get focused down here as well. Was doing his best here to watch out for that breath, just keeping up those auto attacks. Hogger in the back line was trying to be disruptive, but Greymane just go ahead and somersaults forward, and that's going to be a second pickoff. We're going to have Dahaka grabbing the temple, and with 3 members chasing down Hogger, they're looking for an additional kill, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to get it.
Well, Banana H is still punching. He's trying, but you're right. They don't have the lockdown to move in and take him down here. And with all of the forts removed, it doesn't get much worse on Sky Temple. This is the worst case scenario. We have already damage against the keep at the bot lane 7 minutes into the game. Again, you gotta give credit to Chili Mountain. They played a great tournament. They were already able to take Oxygen Esports down in the winner bracket semifinal without even dropping a map, which was quite impressive. And I feel that CM struggled the most against the Bang Bush, which Oxygen Esports themselves took out with a 3-1 victory in the losers bracket to move into the grand final in the first place. But a very impressive performance here by Dino and his boys.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting to a point where Hail Marys in hunting season needs to be the strategy for Auction Esports. Just get your Diablo and Leoric on the same page and just start hunting down people. Because you're going to need your comeback. You're going to need to have to find a way to squeeze your way back in the game. Now, wait for even talents, of course. And look at this camp down here. Dayqua's thinking about taking it, but a smidgen too late. Not going to force that one. Even if you did win that fight, what would you get for it? Nothing really.
Now, even baiting them a little bit, but Benny, of course, is fully aware what the real threat could be. The bottom keep, by the way, is nearly gone. And then we would see even,
battered?
Yeah, we would see even more catapult pressure if that happens.
Jeez, temples are OP, man. They destroy them so fast.
Yeah, and we get a double temple next.
Sneeze on that thing.
Yeah, it's not only that, but like we have also a double temple coming up. If they get just a shot or 2 from the bot lane, that's all that they need.
Yeah, that'll probably be the main focus for Dahaka while the other 4 members go top lane and try to control that out. 13 sneaking up here for Auction Esports. Right now they're on double duty with Hogger and Brightwing attempting to squeeze out every juice of experience they can here. And then they can use the collapse to go get the experience in the middle lane. I think this might be the moment where it's like, alright guys, we gotta win a team fight. When that 13 hits, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a focus from Bad Benny to just go for something.
Yeah, they kind of have to, I feel, because the lanes get very well controlled by Chili Mountain, so vision is already at a minimum. And you gotta make a move. But as I said before, Chili Mountain doesn't have to take fights anymore. At least not for now. at this point, they can just use the global, they can use the Haka, and they can try to play around them a little bit. And I think that's what we're going to see. They're going to try and get their kills here. They're going to attempt to get Greymane onto a lane. They use the Haka to jump between the objectives a little bit. And that's all they got to do to also get experience for level 16.
Quaza holding on the line. Melee bunkers. The tomb is still up. He can try to catch them here if he wants to. Emerald Wind comes off. There's the tomb looking straight on top of him. Ring of Frost comes in afterwards. There's going to be one kill. There we go, Auction Esports. They find their first pickoff that will help them out in terms of grabbing a shrine. Ultimus trying to kite away. Ooh, able to heal just barely there. Oh my gosh, he goes back in. Oh my gosh, he believes in himself. Dino is also there to help. Banana H goes in, gets a punch, and that is going to be a pickup off of Hogger with the help of Greymane.
Bullet to the face and taking Hogger down, but 2 have fallen on the blue team side. I don't think they needed to battle here, but they're still doing it, and now we have Masquerade topside getting a few shots for the team, which will allow them to at least drop this wall to an extent. And of course, this is still really good for Chili Mountain, because despite the 2 deaths that they just suffered, they have now level 16, and they're taking more and more structures down. The entire wall has more or less already been destroyed. Only Nick is making his way to the top. And he is already at 50% HP. He needs to connect that drain quickly. And you can tell on the minimap that even the bot laners are starting to fall back as Karazim and Greymane are making their way over. So this bottom keep is definitely gone.
Oh yeah, that looks like it. Dahaka also getting picked up there in the top left. So small victories here and there. Things are getting less dire by the second. 16 connecting with a boss popping up. Hey man, sometimes you have to take every victory and just go full propaganda and be like, "Ooh, we're winning this game." You know, that little injection can get people excited. You never know.
Yeah, 8 kills to 6. Level 16 talents are there, and the boss is up, and they are trying to use those small time frame. 10 seconds, like I'm not so sure. The Haka can tunnel in.
Yeah. Brightwing at the top lane, watching for it here. Gonna need a really key polymorph on either Malthael or Greymane to get this victory. Hasu also needs to land a money Ring of Frost. Dahaka looking like they want it for a win, and 2 comes out immediately. Bad Benny gets deleted!
Benny down, and they're going for the boss now. Big pong, but Malthael at least falls. The boss is claimed and will go for the core, and Hazu is about to die too. Gets hit by the Haka. They're going for Leo. This might be the end of the road for Oxygen Esports. Can they get another kill? They're trying, they might, and oh, the barbecue! Banana H gets killed, and so does the
That might have saved him the game. That might have kept him in the game here. Sure, the boss is pushing in, but you have the DPS to clean it up. You are missing
minutes.
Jaina.
Easy
and
boss.
it is only a 12-minute boss. Yeah, that might have been worth it for him. It looks like it.
No, they're definitely going to save this one. I would be surprised if the core is really taking damage.
Sure, yeah.
It's
Okay.
just too early.
The only thing that's really unfortunate is you look at the map and it's still blue. After all those kills. That hurts, but you got a couple of kills. That's good.
I mean, the thing is, you look at the experience and you see they're a level ahead, and it's okay, this is bad. Then you look at the kills, it's 10 kills to 9, and you're like, oh my god, that's very even. Then you look at structures and you're like,
yeah,
they're dead.
And it's only one temple this time. So now they have multiple options. They can take Greymane and Karazim and put them in the bottom lane and just try to threaten killing off that core. Which can pull off the members from Auction Esports, and once they pull them off from that temple, they can take it themselves. It's a very massive tug of war that is fully in control of Chili Mountain. It's like this big muscular dude with at least 13 nipples facing off against a skinny guy that's all skin and bones and has only had water all week. It's a rough tug of war for sure.
30,000 damage for Jaina, 31,000 for Greymane, couple of shots fired into the middle.
Oof!
And Leo gets murdered. Leo gets killed, 7-sided strike, once again super successful here. So right off the bat it's a 4 versus 5 and half a level until 20. The situation doesn't get any better for the red team.
Middle keep getting shelled down. You're going to see Auction Esports try to play the slow here. They want to get back their Leoric. Leoric did use his Entomb before he died though, so that will be missing. However, it is a low cooldown. 20 seconds coming in.
Yeah.
Now they're engaging Nekwaza. They're trying to force the fight before Leo gets here.
Mid keep is gone. Mid keep falls right now. Mid keep gone. 20 is soon available. Shots still fired. There's the bunker. They're trying to make the play for Diablo. Last rights. There's the Ring of Frost. But he survives through it. And Brightwing is dead as they go for the engage. Hogger with a kill against Blaze. Diablo about to go down. How is Benny still alive? Are you kidding me? Finally bites the dust here. And that's level 20 on the board now for Chili Mountain, and Leo is down as well.
Possible last one standing. Just kidding. Diablo just came back, and he'll be able to try to hold this off. But a tank against 4, especially when you have tank killers on the opposing team, not looking too good. With the minion wave joining in as well, we're going to see Chili Mountain move forward and try to finish off this entire tournament. Bad Bitty attempting to buy some time, runs into sandstorms here just to keep away those bruisers. Bad Bitty buying a lot of time, to be quite honest with you, but finally a tongue comes in from Masquerade, and that is going to be the lockdown. And the core begins to fall. Khaldor, could this be it?
I think pretty clearly it is. 4-0 victory, Chili Mountain. They are the champions of the 4th season of the X Cup. They take the X Cup Summer 2022. Congratulations.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.